Welcome to InfoSource, a presentation of Berkshire Healthcare Systems, a not-for-profit systems of post-acute healthcare services including long-term care, short-term rehabilitation, independent living, assisted living, memory care programs, and hospice services available to our neighbors and families here in the Berkshires and beyond. I'm your host, Jenny Sutherland. Welcome to InfoSource. I have an announcement to make right here, right now. If you email me at jsutherland@bh1.org, I will send you a gift from our swag closet of Berkshire Healthcare System goodies. We are looking for questions, comments, and show topics, and if we use yours, we will send you out a prize. That sounds pretty good, huh, Maureen?
Sounds great.
Maureen Goodrow from North Adams Commons, social worker, is joining us today to talk about discharge to the proper location. We've done a series of 3 shows, starting with admissions from a hospital into a skilled nursing facility for short-term rehab. And now we're on to discharge to the proper setting. And you help with that all the time, yes, Maureen?
I do, yes, I do.
Okay. And when you get close to someone who's at a facility for short term, you guys have meetings and talk about that process?
Well, when somebody enters a short-term rehabilitation program within the skilled nursing facility, the goal is always to go home, to get better, to get stronger, to go home, get back to what they were doing previous to their hospitalization. You're right, we do have an interdisciplinary care plan team who assesses the person as soon as they get in the building. Each discipline assesses per their own discipline. I'm the social worker, so I would assess for any social needs that the person would require. The nurses have their own assessment. But we also have the doctor being an integral part of the whole interdisciplinary team. And added into that is the rehab department, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy. Those are all the components to the interdisciplinary team who work together to decide what the plan is. What is the appropriate plan for this person? Is it going back home, or may it be possibly another place for them that would be more appropriate?
Sure, and you mentioned something right off the bat when we get started, that your goal is to get these short-term rehab residents, patients back out into the community in whatever way, because it's a myth that, you know, once you go to a nursing home, a skilled nursing facility, we want to keep you there, and that's not true, is it?
That is not true. You're right. It is a myth, and it goes back in the old days when a nursing home was considered to be long-term care only. Now it is rehabilitation. For the most part, it is rehabilitation. There are people who do live there and reside there for a long term, but for the most part it is rehab.
And that short term can be a few days, a week, a couple of weeks, a month, whatever the team feels and that rehab resident feels they need to discharge safely. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that also corresponds to whatever the goals are that the person would have, the goals that they would need to accomplish in order to get home and get home safely.
Okay. So I like that everybody's part of it, and including the person, the resident who's at the skilled nursing facility, and their family as well, because they're involved. If someone's looking at discharging back home, which I think is probably the most popular choice to discharge back home to, I know that we offer home evals.
We do. They're called home safety evaluations, and they are performed by a member of the rehab department, be it either a physical therapist or an occupational therapist. And what happens then is the person, the resident, goes home with a member of the rehab department, and they go through their routine that they would have to do at home, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the bathroom, etc., followed by the rehab team, and they're making little recommendations and writing things down, like perhaps, oh, maybe you need to move that scatter rug, or can you reach those things up in that cupboard, etc. And then when the whole evaluation is done, everybody comes back to the nursing home, regroup, they make their recommendations, and then we have a discharge planning meeting, and that is often the first part of the discharge plan is right there. That's how we get people home.
All right. And sometimes when folks are going back home after the home eval and everything's set up, you help set up services to help support them in their own home. And what does that look like?
There are multiple services available in the community to assist someone when they're going home from a rehab facility. And again, it would also rely on what the recommendations were from the rehab department. For instance, visiting nurses do offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy within the home. There are services provided by Elder Services of Berkshire County for our particular home, and that can include housekeeping, cooking, shopping, laundry, companionship, etc. They also offer a lifeline, push the button if you fall down type thing, connected to your telephone line. And there are also separate private home care agencies within the area. So there are multiple options for people when they go back into the community. Often a good resource is your local Council on Aging place. In North Adams, it's located at the Mary Spitzer Center on Ashland Street, and they offer a whole gamut of programs and activities for elders in the community. And it's a social program, it's also a safety program, and it's also a way to be seen, and if you need more assistance, there are resources there for you.
Maureen, I need to tell you, you're like the best guest on the show, because you mentioned so many things I wanted to bring up and ask you about, and I love that you brought up the Council on Aging as a support, and the local senior centers, and I know you enjoy going out to those in the community when you had the chance to do that.
I do, and I did.
And we both agreed earlier when we were talking about this that when people go back home, they miss some of that socializing with other folks, and you think that's a good place for them to do that back home in the community.
Having been there and watched and participated in this socialization, yes, it is a great place. It is a marvelous program.
Yeah. Well, I hope people can hear that they should check out their local Council on Aging or Senior Center. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. And sometimes we've had folks discharge and family members move back in, or they move in with a family member, and the home still can be home evalved if it's a different home and stuff like that.
For sure.
Because I want to talk that up, that sometimes people's living arrangement changes out in the community.
For sure. Sometimes you get to the point in the person's rehab and it's discovered, well, mom or dad can't go back home without significant assistance, but daughter or son says mom and dad can come and stay with us. But we might want to go and do a home eval in the son or daughter's home just in case and see what the situation is, what can be made different, safer, more accessible for the person. In fact, we just did one of these about 4 weeks ago, worked out very well, and the woman went home to live with her daughter, which is a good thing.
I like that. Well, any situation as long as it's safe, and I like the companionship and closeness of living with family. So we've talked about going back out home in the community, and now I want to take a few minutes on talking about what it would look like if a resident who came in for short-term rehab couldn't go back home, even with services from outside agencies and their families, because that happens sometimes.
It does.
And that's when they need to go into long-term care. And although we said, you know, we're breaking some myths, that still happens. We want people to be safe, and it's clearly a hard thing to think about and talk about, but sometimes we need to say that, and that's true, isn't it?
It is true, indeed. Sometimes that does happen. We get to the point where it is clear that someone is not going to be safe in their home living independently, and in fact probably could not live independently again. So then the decision is made for the person to stay at the nursing home as a long-term care resident. It's a multifaceted decision. It involves the family, it involves the resident, it involves the team, it involves the doctor. It also involves a clinical review by the Mass Health nurse if we're going to be using Mass Health for insurance purposes, because there's also a financial component to that whole situation. So it is multifaceted, and it happens on a fairly average basis.
And you know, I don't want to talk that it's this sad, huge, horrible thing that happens, because we both have worked at skilled nursing facilities for years, and we see how people still carry on with life and have a good time and make friends and continue to live. What changes besides their address? They can change their voting place, have mail delivered. What else can change for them when they become a long-term care resident?
When someone becomes a long-term care resident, it becomes their home. Not much changes. It's just like their home. They have their address there. They can vote there. I do absentee ballots for people. Their family is welcome there 24 hours a day to stay with them and visit them within reason. No wild parties at midnight.
What?
No wild parties at midnight, no. But yes, it's their home. And what happens is people bring in things from their former home and make it more comfortable. And we all strive to make it a comfortable place for them. And we feel like our facility is a family. Yeah. And that's how we treat it.
And I do feel that when I'm up at North Adams Commons with you guys, it feels very home-like. The staff with the residents with residents, and it's people's homes, and you know, that's a nice feeling. Some things that people need to realize when they go long-term is that the meals become more important, activity groups become more important, and things like that. So that changes for them too. Resident council, you encourage long-term folks to go to resident council meetings, to be part of the family and life and community of the skilled nursing facility.
Yes, there is a daily calendar that is quite busy. It would tire me out if I went to every one of those programs.
Come on, Maureen, you could do a couple hours of bingo.
Yeah, bingo. I-54. Yes, and people come and they read the schedule, and they enjoy that. They enjoy the socialization. They enjoy playing bingo. They enjoy going to the women's tea groups. They enjoy going to play poker with the men's poker group.
When's that? I'd like to do that.
Oh, well, that would be Wednesdays.
Wednesday,
no,
all right.
Okay.
Oh, tonight. Oh, we're filming on a Wednesday. Okay, maybe not. Right.
It is a social atmosphere. Yeah. It is also a safe atmosphere, because if someone needs to stay there long term, there's a reason for that. Yeah. They may need medical care and supervision, so it's social and it's also a safe place.
And I've heard families and sometimes even the person themselves say that they are, what they like the most is being more with people, and sometimes children will say, well, geez, one of the things I didn't really realize was how lonely my parent was at home by themselves, and they just kind of blossom in the social setting. So people need to not underestimate the power of being with other folks.
We see it all the time, Jenny. We do. Yeah, Mom used to just sit and watch TV. Well, Mom's busy now, very busy.
Wow. All right. We're going to take a quick break and watch a clip about what else is going on at North Adams Commons, where Maureen Goodrow is Director of Social Work and helps people discharge home to the proper location or any place. So when we come back, Maureen, we're going to be joined by Kathy Herman, Executive Director at Linda Manor Assisted Living. So here's what's happening at North Adams Commons.
Situated in a quiet residential neighborhood in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts, just minutes from the cultural offerings of the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts and the Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Arts, North Adams Commons offers you the best of both worlds. It's a locally run facility staffed by dedicated healthcare professionals from the northern Berkshire area. And it's backed by the expertise and resources of Berkshire Healthcare, the largest nonprofit long-term care provider in the area. Berkshire Healthcare is committed to fulfilling the health and residential needs of the people in the communities we serve. North Adams Commons is a proud recipient of the American Healthcare Association's National Quality Award. The Quality Awards recognize members' commitment to performance excellence by continuously demonstrating ever-improving value to residents and other customers. The Bronze, Silver, and Gold Awards recognize overall organizational effectiveness and capabilities and champion organizational and personal learning. At North Adams Commons, we pride ourselves on our deep commitment to our community. We offer a broad range of nursing home services, including short-term rehabilitation, skilled nursing, long-term care, hospice, and respite care services. We proudly offer a home-like setting that allows our residents the comforts they expect while providing the care they need, including several small, nicely appointed dining rooms, beautiful outdoor space, ample activities, and private family space. At the heart of it all is a focus on the body, mind, and spirit. Our rehab services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Our licensed therapy professionals help restore and maintain the body by focusing on helping our residents improve strength and mobility in order to participate in the activities they most enjoy. These services are provided up to 7 days a week when ordered by a physician. North Adams Commons is more than a place to live. It's a place to enjoy each day to the fullest. Our activities program focuses on the mind and spirit of our residents by offering engaging leisure and recreational activities, arts and crafts, music, discussion groups, exercise sessions, religious services, and cultural community outings, and more. Each resident receives the highest quality care delivered by our dedicated staff members working as a team. From the nursing staff to our front office personnel, everyone is enthusiastic about the role he or she plays in the lives of the people who entrust us with their care. Our staff is committed to providing compassionate care, using teamwork as their guiding principle. We're dedicated to treating each person with dignity, recognizing their individual needs, goals, and preferences. We create a care plan for each person, focused on helping them achieve the highest level of independence and quality of life. At North Adams Commons, we're perfecting the art of superior care. If you or a loved one need short-term rehab, extra care after a hospital stay, or a nursing supervised full-time living arrangement, we invite you to tour and meet our staff. See firsthand how we enhance the lives of those we serve. To make arrangements or get more information, call 413-664-4041. We look forward to meeting you.
Welcome back to InfoSource. Maureen Goodrow, social worker from North Adams Commons, and I have been talking about discharge to the proper location, and that could be back home to the community. It could be a long-term placement at a skilled nursing facility. And joining us is Kathy Herman to talk about the possibility of admissions to an assisted living.
Hi, Jenny.
Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for being here with me. Before we talk about that option, and I want to talk about Linda Manor Assisted Living, you not only are executive director, you're also a nurse.
I'm a registered nurse,
You're
right?
a registered nurse.
Yes.
And you have a specialty that is near and dear to my heart. What is that?
Dementia care.
Dementia care.
Yes. So.
And you're not going to like this when I do this, but I want to thank you for all the years of service to not only Berkshire Healthcare Systems, but to the community, because you've done a lot in the area of dementia care. You've done a lot for Berkshire Healthcare Systems, so thank you.
Oh, thank you.
She's going to kick me. She might. She's probably trying to kick me under the table now.
Yes.
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 And people, when I say Kathy Herman, they always go, "Oh yeah, I know her. She's down at Kimball Farms." Blah, blah. And you were there for a very long time, and still continue to visit. And you were there.
I was there for 25 years.
25 years. I can't. Where was I 25 years ago? Nope.
No.
But you know where you were, and
yeah.
thank you again for that.
Thank you.
But currently, you are the executive director at Linda Manor Assisted Living in Leeds, Mass.
Yes.
And that is brand new.
Yes, we are. We opened on October 15th, 2014. So we've actually been just open a little over 6 months.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful facility, filling up very fast, and it's a great place.
Yeah. It is lovely. I love the location right next to a sister affiliate, Linda Manor Skilled Nursing Facility. And so at your new assisted living, how many residents can you have? How many rooms?
Well, we have 68 traditional assisted living apartments, which consist of studios, 1-bedrooms, and some shared rooms. And then we have 20 apartment dementia care, which we call our life enrichment program. And they're all studio apartments with a few shared rooms there. So we have 88 rooms total, and with the shared rooms, we can hold up to about 95.
And you mentioned the life enrichment program,
Yes.
which that could probably start me crying, because I am so impressed and very happy that Berkshire Healthcare Systems has done this for the community and the folks who need it. That life enrichment program there is outstanding. And can you just talk a little bit about that program?
You don't want to get me started.
Well, we can roll back time and start again.
The life enrichment program is a wonderful unit for those with dementia or Alzheimer's disease, any other type of dementia. Its philosophy is habilitation, modeled after the life enrichment program at Pine Hill Assisted Living at Kimball Farms, which we worked with our consultant Joanne Koenig-Koss, who wrote the wonderful book Learning to Speak Alzheimer's. And her philosophy is habilitation, and we practice habilitation, and our goal is to maximize success for all our residents and minimize any failure. Someone with dementia or Alzheimer's disease, if they are succeeding in life, they are happy. If they are not having failures, they are happy. And our environment is set up so that they do not have failures. Everything they do is successful. We meet our residents where they are. We go to them. We never try to bring them back to our reality. We live in their world. It's a wonderful unit. It's going through the door is like going into a different world. The calmness and the peace of the unit hits you right after you go through. The residents are so happy down there. They're busy. They're productive. They're making all kinds of, last week we did May Day gifts, and I think you got one, didn't you, Jenny?
I still have my yellow pansies in my basket.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Cones with pansies that they made. They're making different types of, they've made ginger tea, things that you would not expect residents with dementia are doing.
And it's, you know, I'll toot our horn, it's phenomenal. And so that's one aspect of service that Linda Manor Assisted Living offers. And you have a traditional side as well.
Yes, we do.
And some folks aren't as familiar what assisted living is, and we want to talk with Maureen about the possibilities of maybe having some of her discharging residents come over to an assisted living and live there. So what kind of services are offered at a traditional assisted living?
At a traditional assisted living, we help our residents with all their ADLs, or activities of daily living. So we assist them with bathing, grooming, dressing. We provide them with 3 meals a day, 3 nutritional meals. We have a great chef. We do a medication management program where we cue them when it's time to take their meds, assist them with that. Housekeeping once a week of their apartments, changing of their sheets, and weekly making of their beds every day, and cleaning up for them. So they are able to just enjoy the functions that are going on within the facility, the activities, live worry-free, and it is a secure environment for them, and the families don't have to worry about what's going on with mom or dad at home, or are they taking their meds, are they eating 3 meals a day.
And also on that traditional side, you're also trying to have them maximize as much as they can do it for themselves and have success.
Yes.
And that I want to state, because, you know, they need some care, but not a ton, but they still need that support. So,
yes.
Maureen, and I know you know about assisted living, but that works for you, trying to find a proper discharge location for somebody.
Sometimes trying to find a proper location for a person to discharge doesn't mean a skilled nursing facility. Someone doesn't need the clinical care of a skilled nursing facility. And I was telling Kathy previous to coming out here that I have made referrals to Linda Manor Assisted Living for a person who lives in North Adams. However, their family lives down near Leeds. And it was a good possibility for this person to go down there. She decided not to do that, but yes, I have made referrals for someone who doesn't quite fit, but they still need assistance.
Right.
They need assistance, but you also want them to do as much for themselves as possible. And at a skilled nursing facility, you know, there's folks who can do, you know, only so much. So, And I encourage everybody to check out assisted living in Berkshire County, Franklin and Hampshire County, and Hampden County, because I think a lot of people don't know too much about it. Now, Kathy Herman, if someone out in the viewing audience would like to come and check out Linda Manor Assisted Living, pretty much brandy new, couple months old, how do they do that?
How do they do that? Well, you can give us a call at Linda Manor. Our number is 413-588-3300. You can go on the internet and find us under the Berkshire Healthcare Systems site or the Linda Manor Assisted Living site. We're very happy to take any phone calls, or if you're going out for a nice spring drive, stop in. And we have lots of different activities going on. We'd love to have people come in and just spend some time with us. So which either way, it's, you know, it's good for you, come on down.
Well, thanks for inviting everybody. I hope they do come. And also check out Kimball Farms in Berkshire County.
Oh, yes.
I want to thank the two of you for helping us end our three-part series and discharging folks back to a proper setting. I'm encouraging folks again to email me at jsutherland@bh1.org with your questions, comments, and show topics, and I'll send you out some Berkshire swag, some sunglasses, or something else. This has been a presentation of Berkshire Healthcare Systems. Till next time, good health and good life.